Every time I go back home to my parents' house in Ohio, I visit jungle gyms, and I've been meaning to make a long video about jungle gyms just for about ever. Now, I grew up going to jungle gyms, and I always knew it was kind of a special place, but I didn't know how special. Jungle Gyms is easily the weirdest and wildest grocery store in the entire United States. So today, I want to give you a tour and let you know what I think about this place. Spoiler alert, it's awesome. Now, Jungle Gyms kind of has a jungle theme, but it also has like old man garage vibes. But when this place originally started, it was a fruit stand that just got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Like, for some reason, it has this yacht with like this General Mills band, and it's modeled after the Gilligan's Island boat. They also built this boardwalk in here that you can't go on. It's just there for decoration. I guess the guy who started it has kind of a wacky sense of humor, so there's all sorts of like just odd things here. And it reminds me quite a bit of just like a Cracker Barrel, and this may just be symptomatic of it being in the Midwest. This is like kind of how Midwesterners have tchotchkes and knickknacks everywhere. Now, when it comes to what you can get here, it's very much like an international market, but it's an enormous international market where you can get just about anything. Now, I'm just throwing this out there. My mom's actually Japanese, and growing up, Jungle Gyms was the only international market anywhere even close. I used to go to Jungle Gyms like all the time and not really think anything of it. I remember a specific moment where I was talking about Jungle Gyms in class, and I said, "Oh yeah, Jungle Gyms, that's the place where we get 40-pound bags of rice." I didn't even think about the fact that most of my classmates did not eat rice at that quantity ever. I don't know if the Jungle Gym guy who started this place really knows this, but without this place, there would have been a huge part of my culture I just never would have gotten to experience on a regular basis. I mean, it's not like you can just go to Kroger and get this type of stuff. So anyways, I'm just saying I'm super grateful that this place exists, one, because it's an interesting store to go to, but two, because it helped me understand the types of foods that my mom ate growing up. I mean, nowadays it's a little different. I can probably get like Pocky at a GameStop. But when I was really young and before it was like cool to be Japanese, this place was just the place we went to get Japanese stuff. But if I'm going to be really honest, we rarely got like the novelty things like this. We mostly just got like furikake here, rice, basic ingredients, egg roll wrappers, seaweed, just, I don't know, just like things that you would normally get at like an Asian market or an Oriental store. Now, the one Japanese candy my mom would let me indulge in was this Botan rice candy. I love this stuff. It's like a chewy piece of sweet rice covered in a sticky paper. It's amazing. I'm also not gonna lie, growing up, the only ramen we would eat was the cheapest one, but as an adult, I just like that there is hundreds, if not thousands, of different types of ramen that I can try whenever I want. Now, I'm about to use the word new, but when I say new, I mean like, I don't know, like 6 or 7 years old. But anyways, this part of the store is kind of new. As soon as you enter Jungle Gyms, they have this whole Otaku area that just has a whole bunch of board games and just nerdy cultural things, which kind of makes sense, I guess. But it's a neat little area. Jungle Gyms has an event space, but I really kind of feel like the type of pageantry that's at this place in general could lend itself well to having like a convention that they host somewhere in the store. It's just such an enormous eclectic mix of just random stuff. Growing up, the closest thing to a convention was like a county fair. And like, at a county fair, you like celebrate horses and milk and cheese. This is what I like to celebrate. Weird and cool Japanese video game stuff. Like, if you were to put on paper what this store's business plan is, I don't know if it would make like a ton of sense. Like, you could probably find some through lines, but it's just like this guy has a store where it seems like he finds certain things neat, and then he's like, yeah, let's just go all in on this neat thing. And not for nothing, each of these individual sections, like this toy section or the food section or just the cheese section, is larger than any other specialty store in the area that has that sort of thing. Like, you don't find a lot of collectible toy shops in this part of Ohio that has this large of a selection. They also have a Jungle Gyms podcast where they do a lot of TikToks and stuff like that. I low-key think that they make some pretty good content, but this whole store is like a content creator's paradise. So I think that they could even do even better stuff. Not to say that their stuff is bad, but like there's just so much fodder for good content here. Grater's is a Cincinnati ice cream shop that's known for their black raspberry chocolate chip. And this is just a bank. This is a very interesting way to showcase a bank in a store, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. So many of the things that they sell in the store and the sections that they have, like this pet section, are coupled with things that make no sense in any section, like this race car. There's also things in here that I've came to the conclusion that Jungle Jim must have just liked this thing. For example, there's these life-size statues of Johnny Bravo that are just here for no reason, but they're kind of like Johnny Bravo as Jungle Jim. It's kind of weird, but also hilarious. There's also undescribable animatronics everywhere, like this stand-up corn.
Man, look at all the people. Do you have enough maps?
Great! Are you handing them out?
Oh, I hope so. I got lost in Asia last time.
I don't really know what the punchline was there. I think the joke just ended. Like, is this Campbell's soup sanctioned by Campbell's? Honestly, I don't care either way. I just think a lot of these decisions are brave and amazing. This place sometimes reminds me of like Ollie's as well. They play fast and loose with the jungle theme. I can't really go in here because this is the bathroom, but they have these two porta-potties here, and inside the porta-potties is like a full-on real bathroom, which is hilarious. Like, I always wonder if my humor is a byproduct of growing up in these weird places, or these weird places exist as a byproduct of being in this part of Ohio. I really can't answer that question. They're also really into novelty candy here, as you can see by their enormous Pez section. I don't know anybody that still collects Pez. That clear SpongeBob is super cool though. This Gorilla Elvis has also been there as long as I can remember. I don't know a Jungle Jim's without Gorilla Elvis. During the winter time, he's dressed as Gorilla Elvis Santa, which is awesome. In Ohio, they call soda pop, which is really funny because when you press this button right here, they play songs by the King of Pop next to their gigantic pop section, where they have tons and tons and tons of bottles of soda. Worldwide, there might be another store with a larger selection of soda, but I personally have never been to one of those stores. I have been to Jungle Jim's, and this place has so much soda. My only downfall with all of this is I don't drink soda with sugar in it. I know what you're saying. Sugar soda tastes way better than soda without sugar, and I don't disagree with you. Of course it tastes better. Sugar is amazing. I'm just one of those people that drinks like 20 drinks a day. And when I'm saying 20 drinks, I'm talking like waters, iced teas, sodas, everything. If I drank sugar soda, I would drink like 5 billion grams of sugar a day. So because of my crazy consumption of liquid beverages, I tend to drink as many as I can that don't have sugar in them. But when things exist like cotton candy Faygo, I'm tempted. They also have an incredible hot sauce selection, which is super duper nice. In a different life, I worked at a place where they had a chicken wing show about hot sauce, so I love hot sauce. Now, officially, the only place you can get the sauces from that show are the Heatonist, but for some reason, this place has them as well. So if you ever want to get some Hot Ones hot sauce, you can get them at Jungle Jim's. They're a little bit more expensive than the Heatonist, but you kind of have to ship the Heatonist stuff to your store, so I guess that explains the markup. Every Christmas, I actually bring the last dab to Christmas, and then I tempt my wife's cousins into trying it. And honestly, I want to try it too, because I don't eat it so often that I always remember how hot it is. But then everybody tries the hot sauce, and they die a little bit on the inside. I love it. It's delicious hot sauce. Also, for my UK people out there and Australians, Nando's is like the best. I love Nando's. It is so good. And since I can't get it here at the Nando's store, I just get this stuff and make Nando's at home. If you've never tried really hot sauce, I suggest you do it at least once. It might really mess you up, but it's an out-of-body experience unlike any other that I could really describe to you. Another Christmas, I got a whole bunch of hot sauce that was all below $5, and I gave it all out to my family members, ranging from super hot to not so hot. That was a lot of fun, so you should try hot sauces if you're generally into that, and if you're not into that, you should try hot sauces with other people. The next weird but cool thing here is this UK area. They have it dressed like Sherwood Forest, the setting of Robin Hood, and they have some other stuff here too. It's a really interesting way to set dress something, and if you want UK treats, you can go over here and get them. I got some candy because I like Smarties. They're like M&Ms, but more chocolatey. I don't know how to really explain why Smarties are different than M&Ms, but they just are. Trust me, or try them yourself and let me know what you think. And here's a little Easter egg if you look up in Sherwood Forest. Pretty cool. Now, all over this world market, there's little sections, at least an aisle or a smaller amount of space that is dedicated to all sorts of other countries. It's kind of cool. If I lived closer to Jungle Gyms, I'd probably make a YouTube series where I just go in here and just grab handfuls of food and then try to cook it based on no knowledge of actually how to prepare the meal. There's just so much stuff here, and half of it has instructions on how to eat it or how to cook it anyways, so I bet you could go in here and do that. They also have an enormous health food section, and I don't know how to explain it any other way, like hippie stuff. Not just stuff you eat, but like things like gems and crystals. But if you're into that sort of thing, you can get that here too. Also, while doing research for this, I didn't realize Jenny's ice cream was a Ohio thing. They're based out of Columbus. They taste delicious. I almost skimmed over the fact that they have a huge section of Friday night adult drinks too. It is enormous, and if you're into anything, you can probably find it here. It's so much. But yeah, that's Jungle Gyms, at least from my perspective. There's things I probably missed, and there's probably things I covered in way too much depth, but I hope you enjoyed it. If you're ever in this general area, you should go. If you live in this area and you haven't been to Jungle Gyms, what are you waiting for? And yeah, I go to this place every time I go home, so maybe I'll make another video about Jungle Gyms in the future. But for now, I'm just going to say goodbye. And if you're into this type of video, I make this type of video all the time. So like, subscribe, follow, do that sort of thing. And I hope to see you again soon.